Hey guys, Mr. Mike here, and on today's episode, we're going to be doing some photo critique, right? So, as you guys know, we should always be training our eye and always be, it's kind of like an ongoing thing for us creatives is, building your creative eye. So, looking at photography from other photographers, getting inspiration from other photographers, and just looking at works and seeing how people apply different lighting patterns, how they apply composition, to be able to train our eyes to see this way. So this is an ongoing thing. If you're not doing it, no problem. Just subscribe to my channel and you'll see these more often and we can train our eye together. All right, so let's roll the intro. Alright guys, welcome back. So yeah, we're going to be starting our photo critique now. So these are images that I gathered from the web, from Instagram, from just basically anywhere, magazine. And of course, this is a process that we all should continue to do, is continue to refine our creative eye, right? And the only way you could refine it is by looking at creative pieces, and that's how you train your eye to look at things: composition, lighting, basically the overall concept of the piece of work, right? All of these things we can kind of pick up just from looking at a photo, right? So we can basically analyze the composition, what the intent was, and more importantly, does it work or does it not work? And to follow up on that, how can we make it better, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch over to my iPad and we're going to go through these and I'm going to iron out a couple of things that I would change. And it's also for some things for you guys to consider, and maybe you start seeing these things as well. All right, so let's kick it off. Let's go to my iPad now.
All right, guys, so welcome. So we're going to be going through my iPad here. These are some of the shots that I kind of have been saving for these type of critiques, right? So I kind of wanted to go over them with you, and we can talk about what could be improved, how it can be improved, whether or not the shot works for its meaning, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna go through these shots, and again, guys, this is a good way to kind of it's good that you guys look through pictures of other photographers and basically just advertisement in general, so you get an idea of what people are trying to accomplish and how they are doing it. So let's start with the first one here. So as you guys can see, this first shot is, a very fashionable shot, right? So we have it, obviously I feel like it's tailoring towards this girl. It could definitely be an Adidas shot. So let's talk about what's good about this shot. So let's go ahead and start our kind of sketching of this thing. Let's go with the yellow for this. And what do I think? Okay, so first off, we have, an interesting shot as far as, the angle that we're shooting from. The good thing is that we have a nice, there's some depth here, right? So we have some blurriness that's in here. I'm going to switch to red, guys, so you guys can see it. And I'm going to switch to something thicker. There you go, this one. There we go. So we have some red that I'll be kind of annotating here. So you have this out of focus area here, and then you have, it would have been nice if you would have created some depth back here. That way you have kind of like a sandwich of depth. So we have, this would be in focus in here. You'd have this shallow area that'd be out of focus, and then you have this area that's out of focus. That would create a nice dimension to this photo. That's how I would make it better, definitely. But it is an overall nice shot. I mean, we do have her kind of looking away from the camera. It's a nice angled shot, as you can see. The angle that they're shooting here, making sure that the eye is, the angle of the face is right. We don't have a missing portion of this eye. It's in view. Nicely open mouth, slightly, right? We want to have the model open their mouth slightly, like if they're blowing out a candle, and she's doing that ever so. Very nice. Placement of the limbs. Typically, I don't like to show the back of the hand. As you guys know, show the back of the hand to the camera is like a no-no. This could have easily been mitigated by moving our hand ever so slightly this way and kind of showing us the side of the hand, right? Um, that's just one of the rules that are in as far as composition and posing people. Not to say that you can't break these rules, of course, depending on what you're trying to achieve. You could definitely break that rule, right? So a back of a hand would be a good. You could break that rule by introducing some kind of tattoo art here, and the whole premise behind it is the tattoo art. So you're kind of bringing forward some emphasis to that and highlighting what the service is. So there are, of course, all rules in photography are there as a base for us to learn about the rules, but we can bend and break some of them depending on how we apply them, right? So that's basically it for this one. Other than that, everything else is nice. The lighting is nice, very even lighting. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so moving on to the next one. So we have this picture of this it seems like a fitness model here because swimmer models are not normally this fit. So it's definitely a fitness model. So what do we see with this photo? So with this photo, obviously we have some softening of the face. Maybe it's a little bit too much here in this area. It seems like we're losing a lot of the features in her nose. Maybe she's a little bit too soft there. As far as visuals, definitely the posing of the hands. Remember, we always want to look at the hands. If you notice, the hands are even here at the same area. You normally want to offset these, right? So they're not the same. So here they are the same. It would be better if this hand was doing something different than this one. Obviously we have again showing the back of the hand, not good. Showing kind of the back of the hand here, not good. Maybe it would be nice if she was showing more the side, the knife of the hand, more of the side. You can kind of turn her wrist a little bit to kind of be playing with the back of the string. And then this arm could have made a nice triangle over here. And she could have been kind of playing with this bottom part of the swimwear. That way it's a more dynamic shot, right? It feels more dynamic. And pulling this elbow this way would help create a triangle on this side, right? So we would have a triangle, we would have two triangles being made and at opposite ends, right? You have a triangle on this side and you would have a triangle on this side, and they wouldn't be basically at the same level, right? So this way it would create this image to be a little bit more dynamic, and we wouldn't be showing the back of the hands. So that would be something that could be improved here for this shot. Also, I see that basically by the placement of her legs, she's not putting a weight on either side, right? So normally you want the weight to go on your back foot to create more dynamic lines in the body. Here, it looks like she's basically just standing straight, flat-footed. So you definitely want to be able to tell your model to shift her weight to the back of her, to the back leg, right? Shift the weight to the back leg, which will allow this leg to kind of flow evenly or softly. It could easily tuck in a little bit to give us more of an hourglass shape. So you would see more of an hourglass shape here if she were to have done that. And it would have slimmed out this side, right? So slimmed out this side and create more contour on this side would have accented her body even more, right? I do think she's a little bit too stiff. If you guys notice, by her tilting over or putting the weight to the back side, to the back leg, that would have helped break up this. You see, her shoulders are very parallel, right? If she would have done that, it would have also helped this break up the shoulder right here to give us more of we want definitely more of a diagonal line, whether it's this way or this way as far as collarbone, than straight across, right? So, we don't want, I'm going to clear this up a little bit. We don't want this, okay? We want more of I'll do it in green. We want more of a dynamic, diagonal lines, right? So we don't want it to be just basically straight up and down. We want it to be diagonal lines that will create more dynamics in an image. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna move on to the next one, and let me see, number 3. All right, so this image obviously feels like a fashion type of shot. So what's good about the shot is she's got nice light on her face, nice a nice definitely a nice expression. I would have liked her lips to be a little bit open here, but it's nothing. It's not a big deal. As far as hand placement, I would have liked these fingers here to be more spread out, right? So she's kind of like more spread out the fingers here, so they're more lean and it's more elegant looking when the fingers are kind of spread rather than balling them up here into almost a fist, right? So definitely bringing these fingers out would have been better. It would have given them also a sense of elegance. So she is wearing kind of like an elegant and sexy dress, or not dress, but skirt and top here. And this is okay here because she's obviously holding on to the purse. But my question is, I guess, what are we selling here? Are we selling? If we're selling the bag, this bag is way too low in the frame, right? It's almost like not even important. Are we selling? I'm thinking this is effective for selling this type of fashion. We're selling this actual outfit as this is the product, the outfit. If it's the bag, we definitely have to bring it up to give it more strength because it's all the way down at the bottom corner of the frame. When it comes to fashion shoots, I would definitely keep away from crucifixes. Try to keep it nice and neutral. We don't want to, kind of label whether this is, or this is kind of like, how it is, religion and politics. You want to keep those out of the artistic portion of these type of shoots, right? So other than that, it looks pretty good. I like her placement, right? So you see her leg, the back of her foot is on this front part of the leg, and then we have the free leg kind of swinging across this way, which is giving us this shape, right? So she is putting the weight over on this leg to be able to swing this leg around, which is nice because it's giving us this curve, right? This S curve right here, and this S curve right here. Very well, nicely done. The only thing I would do differently is I would add more depth. So I would shoot this at maybe a 1.8 because all this I could blur all this out. I don't need to see the back of this car back here. I can blur some of this out. That way I can kind of compress this image even more and make her pop a bit more. That's the only thing I would do extra for this. But very nice shot. Good lighting. I love the use of the hair. So very nice shot. All right, so let's go to the next one. So this one is kind of like a gym shot. It feels very grungy, right? Um, I do love this is a good use of, let me go ahead and mark this in green because this is good. Now I do like this hand placement here. It's not showing us the back of the hand, rather the knife of the hand like what we want. This one is showing us a little bit of the back of the hand, which is a no-no. I would have liked it if she would have replicated, what we have over on this left side, right? What we have over on this left side, we replicated over here as far as hand placement and give us more of that knife of the hand. Other than that, let's see, she's obviously using this, shifting her weight to this side of the leg and leaving this one free to create this dynamic curve here. And of course, if she wasn't wearing this jacket, we would be able to see more curve here. But I guess in this case, obviously the product is the jacket and the outfit that she's wearing, right? Potentially. So this is definitely a good product shot. So I would definitely couple it with with something tighter, so something like this, right? A tight shot like this of just a little bit of her face and showing more of the outfit. I think this definitely, is like a no-brainer as to what the important part of this shot is, which is the outfit, and it's less about her. But it's a good shot. I like the tones that we're using. This very nice. All right. I kind of wanted to talk about this one. Where is it? It's towards the bottom. So I kind of had seen this one, and of course I saw this one on Instagram. Um, and it's like, okay, so what is the purpose of this shot? Because, and I don't understand why people would even want a picture of just the garment on a plate or on a pillow or on a bed, because the problem with that is it gives us no idea, no point of reference how this would fit an actual human. Like how would this fit anybody's curves? Like I have no idea. This is just sitting on an inanimate object, right? How would this look like on top, on a person's body, on a woman's body? How does this material bend and give shape to the body? You have no idea because it's just sitting on what looks like a plate. So I just wanted to kind of bring this out. It's just like I don't understand what the concept behind these type of photos is. It's just it brings no value at all to it. It's not attractive. It brings no value, um, and it doesn't make anybody want to buy it. People are just wondering. I have no idea how this fits a person. How would this fit on me? I have no idea. Whereas if you would have put this on an actual person, an actual model, even if the model doesn't have exactly your body type, you have an idea of how this is molded on a body. Is this a soft thing? Is this a soft material? It looks like it is, but on a body, you'd be able to see it bend and see it move. These are elastic. You would know how this transforms on a body, right? So overall, I mean, we have to shoot things that make sense and be thinking about the consumer, because the consumer is what's looking at this, right? And they want to see something that they can visualize themselves in. And this is hard to visualize anybody in this because you really have to use your imagination, and we don't want that. That's the whole point of models, and that's the whole point of shoots, to be able to create that vision for people, for consumers. So definitely try to stay away from these shots. I would say don't do shots like this because it's not. I mean, these little props would have been good to be able to use with a model, but just like this is not a good way to sell a product. I wanted to bring okay, this one. So this one, obviously she was shot with somebody else. Two things here. I mean, I wanted to bring up with expression, right? So she's got like this deer in headlights look, which is not very flattering. So she's got like this puzzled look. She's like confused. She looks like she just came out of something that she's shocked. Maybe if it's applied properly in context, maybe it works. But in this case, it doesn't, because she's got this deer in headlights look, and she's trying to basically just model this piece of fashion, right? And the other thing is that she's square to the camera. We don't want you square to the camera. Models should always be posed in a 30-60 angle, right? We always want them to be in a 30-60 angle. So that's ever so slightly where, we have the side of the face, we're seeing more of the side of this face or that side, but we definitely want them more angled, because here we don't see any shape. If she were to be angled, we would be able to see more of some kind of shape, some kind of S-form shape to her body. And again, we have her collarbone here. So she's basically just kind of a standing mannequin at this point. So we definitely have to think about, how we pose models. And then we have this portion of the arm that is being kind of truncated by this fabric in the back. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that we need to remember. And one of the things is definitely expression on the model. All right, here's another one I kind of wanted to show. This is a nice shot. I mean, The only thing that I would say here is, we're kind of losing the limb here. So through the blanket itself, it's kind of making this cut, right? It's kind of cutting off, it's kind of cutting off the limb here. It's like, oh, all of a sudden the limb disappears here, and then it reappears here. So that's a little bit of a weird, jarring, it looks like a mistake, right? And obviously it is a mistake from the posing standpoint. What should have happened is we should have, eliminated this, bring this blanket down, bring the sheet down so that we see the full hand, right? See the full hand here, continuation of the hand. And another thing I noticed here is, normally whenever you do these shoots, you want to, actually, no, this is actually good right here. I thought I saw something else, but this is nice. You see, you're using the side of the knife of the hand. We're not using the back, or we're not using the palm of the hand. We definitely always want to see the knife of the hand, whether it's this side or the other, or through the thumb side. Nice pose. She has a very, very nice pose here. As you can see, she's puckering up over here to give us this nice kind of S right here, right? So very nice as far as that. Good toes, the way she's pointing them, also very good. The only thing I would say is, whoops, we forgot to clean her feet. So if you notice her feet are very dirty, this is definitely something that you want to kind of keep your eye on is, dirty feet, right? So you have dirty feet over here. They're dirty. Oh. So yeah, you want to watch out for those small little things, dirty feet. Also, I kind of feel like this image, we could have compressed it a bit more, right? So like there's a lot going on back here with these with this, what looks like a gel cell or something. There's some bars back here, and then you have some blinds in the back, the further back. So this feels like there's a lot going on here. I think I would have rather, you know close these blinds, close the blinds so we have less distraction. This is too much. This is too much distraction. Too much. There's too much going on back there. My eye wants to go see back there. What the hell's back there? What is that? You have some shells back there. So definitely, I would have just closed these. Just get these curtains and close this off to kind of make this a nice, clean image in the back, so that the focus stays solely on her and the product, right? Other than that, the posing is nice. The model has a nice look. I would have, I would have opened up her mouth just a little bit, right? A little bit more of an opening on the mouth. That way, it's a little bit more sensual. But overall, it's a nice shot. I think I would have preferred this to be a horizontal or landscape shot. I think it would lend itself for a more landscape shot than a portrait shot. That's the only other thing I would say. All right, so moving on. Oh, okay, so here's one I wanted to kind of show you guys, kind of a before and after. So I saw this other shot here. I'm gonna wait for this to download really quick. And this is gonna be the last one I'm gonna be kind of talking about for this particular critique, and then we'll get on to the rest. Okay, so I kind of saw this shot on, I think it was Instagram or one of those. So here, the focus is definitely the bottle of perfume, right? So the focus is the bottle of perfume. So how could this have been better? So first off, let's look at this. We have a, kind of a stubby arm going on here. So we have this arm is cut off right immediately here, and it's like, and it's influencing the rest of this part, right? We can't see any more shape. Like we start to see her shape here. It comes very nicely, and then it stops. Like there's no more shape, right? You go into this box right here. So you already cut off a nice shape that you had going on here with her body, right? So you have this nice shape here and here with her body that is being made, very nice, very sexy. But then you truncated with having her elbow here, okay? What would have been nicer is you would have just created what you should have done is create the triangle here with this arm, right? You create a triangle here. She could be kind of just having her hands softly here somewhere, and position the bottle on the other hand, right? And this hand can actually be holding the bottle here ever so softly, right? And kind of looking at the bottle, making contact with the bottle so that the emphasis goes back to the product. And so this way you have a continuing silhouette here of her body, which would give it a nice, sexy, can I give her here? So her hand would be here. It would continue that nice, sexy silhouette going on there. And then you'd have the other limb over here holding the material, holding the bottle, and then obviously moving her face over so that she's, giving the bottle all the attention over here. Now, that's the way I would have done it as far as if shooting a full body like this with the product. Another thing you want to do especially with products, I mean, this is very small in frame, right? So that's the other thing. This is very small in frame compared to the rest of the image. If you're promoting this product, you want this to be a lot more bigger in the frame. You want it to take up more in the frame. So this is what I did and I just cropped it, right? I didn't do anything to the image. I just cropped it. Now look at how much more effective this ad is if it was for the product, right? Two things. I mean, obviously I would do the hand placement and everything, but what's good about this, and all I did was crop it, is that again, it's like what's important. Forget about the dress, forget about all that other stuff. What's important here, guys, is the product. This is the product, right? It still looks elegant because we can see that she's wearing an elegant dress, right? We see this elegant dress. We know this is a beautiful woman holding it. Of course, I will still do something about this limb, right? It just doesn't feel right. But it is a much more effective shot because I know what the important part of the shot is here, which is the product. On this one, again, it's so small in comparison. I have no idea. I assume it's the product because she's holding it up, but it's like it's competing with the dress and her basically. So I don't know whose priority is it. Her? Is it the dress, or is it the perfume? But we all know it's the perfume because the way she's holding it. But that's not what the image is kind of showing us. The image is kind of conflicting. So that's why just doing this would break all of that, would finalize all of that. The most important thing here is the perfume. It's not her because we're cropping her out, right? We're just leaving enough to kind of tell us the story. It's a beautiful woman in a fancy dress, and this is a very luxurious perfume. This is what we're saying right here. All right, guys, just a little bit on how composition and certain standards and guides that we have out there to kind of help us shape our decisions. But of course, there's nothing to say that we cannot break these rules. Nothing to say that we can't bend to break the rules. I think it was Pablo Picasso that said, to be a great artist, you have to, you have to know how to break the rules, right? So it's all about learning the rules. What is it? Learning the rules like a master, so you can break them like an artist. I think it's somewhere along those lines. You can look that one up. But yeah, sure enough, it's all about learning the rules before you can break them. So thanks for tuning in.